Good day and welcome back to Elementary 72 Gaming. Now I'm back again with another video on Valheim, and this is on Havoc server. Now I'm a little bit over encumbered. Actually, I'm a lot over encumbered, and I'll explain everything to you. Now, before I even get to this, let me just give you a quick recap of what has happened. I have actually extended up the first portal. Now, the reason for it is quite simple. I wanted to get that first room up so that I could get the metal smelted quite easy. Now, let me go in and show you. This place is filled with wolves, so sorry for the howling. Now, this is something that is really spectacular. There are a total of 7 regular smelters. So this is a very fast smelting room. There are 4 blast furnaces, and I have been doing this here for a very long time. They've been giving me 5 a.m. and 6 a.m. mornings every day just to keep up with trying to get this done on time. And I have a total of 6 kilns. So 6 kilns to make charcoal, 4 blast furnaces to make black metal, and a total of 7 regular furnaces to make your regular metal ingots. That's copper, tin, and iron scraps. Now I have used a lot of tricks to actually get all of this in place, and let me explain to you what I mean. I've been jumping between servers. I found somebody's server with a good swamp spawn. I found the coordinates to their swamp on their server, and I kept porting myself there using dev commands. Yes, I know that's cheating, but I really needed the stone, so I sped up the process by just moving to the end location quicker. I don't want to try and move that just yet. I just want to show you the edge of this building. That room is still a little bit incomplete. And what do I mean by a little bit incomplete? I haven't yet put in the final pieces to that room. Now, if you look around, you will see that there's a lot that goes on to this particular section. And it's definitely going to be something incredible once it's done. Now, you can see that there is pole reinforcements in the ground. However, on the next level that comes in, when it comes to where I need to go further, I might have to actually start putting in an addition of another type of reinforcement. So I might have to put in steel reinforcements just to pull up the level of strength inside the space. I'm not really doing this because I want to do the build. Actually, I'm doing it so that I can get rid of that weight and carry that excess on me. I've been jumping to a server with a good spawn of the towers from the what you call that place, the plains biome, and I've been using the plains biome to generate excess amounts of stone. So every time I destroy one of those massive towers, I get around 450 to 500, and there's a double spawn of those towers. I don't know why it keeps giving me that exact same spawn on towers. So I've actually managed to pick up about 40,000 stone from it, and I will be doing it again for a couple hours at the end of the day if I am correct. Oh man, got it jammed. Every other time it's dropped off the top. I just didn't want to have to go through that again because you have to flip it over and flip it over, and it just takes so long. Oh, I got it stuck. Okay, that should have moved in. That's exactly what I didn't want to do. I ended up doing it by accident. You'll see what I mean now, why this is a bit annoying. Okay, it's a lot annoying. It's going to do this to me again. And I don't have excess food on me, so I can't just up my stamina and push it over in an instant. So anyway, I'll get to this here just now. And the howling is getting a bit excessive. There's a lot of wolves in here. The reason for that is the increased strength of the raids recently. I've been forced to come up with a method to combat them, so I got a whole lot of the wolves into the base just to fight them. Okay, so yeah, this base is definitely huge, right? A lot of people will say that it's a bit overkill. Actually, a lot of people have told me that it's way overkill. And that it's insane to do this, but you know what? It's fun to do it regardless. It would be far easier to just destroy it, but I don't want to go that route. Then I have to rebuild it, and that means I need to. Okay, I'm done with this. Yeah, I have to do this all over again. You have no idea how many times I've had to offload and reload these things. It just gets crazy. I'm just going to get rid of this. I don't have enough core wood to actually finish off that entire foundation. I'm so short, it's not even funny. Oh, okay, it's not that many left. I see what people were talking about. Someone told me that you can destroy that on a ship and then you have excess material, not excess materials, excess storage on the ship. Makes it a lot easier for you to get around. Now I understand it exactly, because considering how much that was in excess, if I did that properly on a longboat and I broke this here each time with just one item in the storage, I could get hundreds of excess storage and just change whatever I'm putting inside. So a very good way to get across the sea. There is something I haven't done, and that is fall off that edge with the cart. And in case you think I've been breaking it and taking it with me, no, I haven't been breaking it and taking it with me to the other servers. I've been cheating. Right, that's the easiest way to say it. I've been cheating to get to the other servers. I've been using the go-to command to move around, and I've been jumping between servers with massive amounts of stone left everywhere just to get it around. And yeah, not very proud of what I had to do to get things done, but it was just too ridiculous on on the time constraints. 1,000 stone takes so long to actually mine that this entire build is actually easier than the mining process, which is insane just to say the least, because this build is huge. I don't think this build should be considered easy at any time. If it is, then something is definitely wrong. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, that should be it. If you think that this is an easy build, just making this floor, you've got it wrong. This is so much of stone so far, just for this little section that's over here. I think it's 40,000 plus. Let's see. This section here that I'm on is most probably nearing the 40,000 mark already. And if you count the other section before I removed stone from it, it was also in the same region. And as I said, I had to remove it at the later stage instead of right from the start. Yeah, that is still fine. Still touching the ground. It's once there's more than one beneath the poles, that I have to really stress, because then the strength becomes an issue to worry about on the next part of the build. You see all of these at the bottom, all I've got to do is reduce and go hit that. And there I go. Those are in. These don't really need it, although they are one above. But I'm not going to stress about that too much. It will be too much of endless rebuilding. And then I can fill in again like I did. Oh wait, I forgot about that one. I didn't even notice it. And that one. The more I fill earlier, the less work there is when I come down. That's how come I am doing it like this. There I go again. This should do it for this section in terms of reinforcement. As you can see, I'm going to have to start moving my items again. And it is really the way that it goes consistently. I'm going to have to run around. There's no way I can jump back up from here. It's just too high. And I should be pushing up on this edge as well with those reinforcements. But right now, I'm not in the mood to do it. So as you can see, there's 1, 2, 3, 4. I have to move them 4 forward every once in a while just to get some room done here. And I can obviously finish up that section of the wall just like I did on that. But it's not really super efficient. I'll show you why now. I think I have enough on me. That's 12. And this is the last one that I can put on, the 24. There you go. Now I've sealed off my edge on that side. I have to jump over the tops. Isn't efficient, and I have to also move those items as well. Forgot about that. Move them in a particular order. Let's see, how much do I have left? I have 80. So if you ever want to build something like this, I suggest you find a starter server that you can make for yourself, just like how I did for getting materials. And I suggest that you build up something huge. Not even just tiny, just go crazy with it. Make sure that it's big enough for you to jump back and forth. Make sure that it has enough stone. There we go, there is a way out. Is the most important part for that section. Yeah, the outside is all that's going to need it there. That needs... Nope, there is center. Oh, I'm out of stone again. You can only imagine how long it took me to figure out that I didn't have to stay on the ground and do all of this piece by piece. I could actually jump up and down through the various places. Now you do see enemies crawling all around the bottom, and even though they can hear me, and see me, they aren't interfering with my base at the moment. That's because I'm almost at the water, as you can see. Right in front, there's the corner. Once I reach it, this build is practically in its end phase. Nothing for me to stress about. Can do that one. And now I'll just pull it out too. Yeah, that's all I can do for now. There is a reason why I went that far with it, just for the sake of this, is you will see in a little bit. Because I still have to pull out everything on top of this. So regardless of how much of building I do, I still have to do even more afterwards. And I do like to name my bases, by the way. So this base is also going to be named after a certain show that I like that had a very bad final season that I will act like didn't ever happen. If you know what I'm talking about, the spoilers. Yeah. Let's say that I'm acting like it didn't happen, so I'm gonna act like there's a way for you to spoil it for me. So yeah, I'm just gonna pretend like that is the way that it is for now. I actually don't even think I have enough wood to complete the next room in this base. It's more than just a little bit insane, to say the least. It uses alarming amounts of materials just to build the base. It is something that is a bit harder to handle for the type of constraints that this game has. I would say building like this isn't for everybody. I would say only build like this if you're in large teams. Don't do this here if you're solo. It's really a bad idea, to say the least. Considering how much of time this has taken, I think I've been on this base for over a week and a half, and I'm not even halfway through. I still got tons to go. I do have a lot more materials available to me because of what I've learned in this time and the cheap shots I'm using to get around, using dev commands to move across the map. I do know that dev commands to spawn items and things like that, but I think that's just going a little bit over the top. You know what, you still want to have the fun of mining and all that stuff. It is tedious, but it is part of the game and it is going to be fun regardless of how much of excess it is. Now you gotta see what is coming next. Oh no. Oh yeah. Yeah, this is also another part of this. I have to extend so much of the floor that it's not even a minor increase each time. As you can see, there's it 3 out. That's all I managed to get. But without this, I can't get any further at all. Okay, just go down. So yeah, you get to have a little taste of the insanity that goes into these types of things. Just look at it. And obviously, if I manage to put things right, just perfect, I can extend even further and build even more. I just have to have enough resources and materials on hand. Not enough, but let me just do this anyway. This might be the easiest way to do it right now. You'll see what I mean in a second. Since I'm not building up here, it means I can dump all of this in a corner, and let's go with that. Yeah, I know that this isn't the most fun thing to watch, but yeah, this is part of the build. Something that you won't get to see in every single build. Pulling up floors and things like that, they're really inefficient methods. It used to be a little bit less efficient than this previously. I can remember struggling with this not so long ago on my last castle, because they really cut down how much you could pull. Because say for example this little edge used to take 4 hits just to pull up. I don't know why it's doing that now. So yeah, in between, you might be wondering why there's so much of downtime between my videos, and that's because I've been working on another series to say farewell to another game that I played on this channel. That was Eve Echoes, and I think that it deserved the amount of time I gave it in the end to say farewell to it, basically. So I'm giving it a full package of my time, basically. Every day I'm dedicating a couple hours to it, and I'm finishing off my last series for that entire game ever. Basically, it's the last series that I will make. I will return to it periodically once in a while when I'm bored, because that's where I started my gaming channel. And there's no way you can just give up on where you started. It can't just disappear. It will mean that everything meant nothing, to be honest. It's not something I want to feel. It's a miserable feeling to feel like it's all a waste. I don't know if I make enough sense with what I say sometimes, but I hope that it does come through correctly. I don't want it all to seem like it was for nothing, right? I spent, what was it, 3 months on that game, and I don't want to just say, oh, you know what, they messed up their game so bad, so goodbye to the game forever. I made good friends there. As I said, Lexi is one of my friends from Eve, so that's how come I'm making that series. It gave me one of my best friends. Okay, I said my best friend, but it's not really one of my best friends. It's one of my very good friends. It takes a while to become best friends with somebody. I'm not going to be presumptuous enough to say that that's the status of where I am right now in a friendship with somebody who is still just a friend in the start of the relationship of friends. It's so hard to explain it. If only the world was simpler. Yeah, as you can see, I just move everything a little bit forward each time. I'm going to try and pull out a little bit more of the land with that, hoping that I can do it without going down. I should be able to. It's not going easy. Man, that is a huge build. It's gonna take its time. It's gonna wrap up soon enough. There's a lot to go in here. There's the metal reinforcement inside, the metal reinforcement up top. It's gonna take quite a bit of doing, to be honest. And hopefully when you come next, you're gonna see the central corridor on the top floor built up. Obviously, once that corridor goes up, then there's the last part which goes up on top of it. And all of that still requires the forge. So I'm going to have to bring the forge up. I'm going to have to reinforce the top floor wherever the pillars are going to go. And beyond all of that is going to be the roof that's coming on top of this. That roof is nothing near this roof, as you can see. This roof is so big it looks like a pyramid. And the roof in the center is going to be a pyramid as well. But the difference between that roof and the roof that's going to go on top here is the fact that that roof doesn't have as easy a catch as that roof had. That roof I could simply just push down onto the pillars and pull it up. The next roof isn't going to be that simple. Even though it will have pillars, it's not going to be easy to pull up at all. Oh wait 1 second. Just to finish this off, if I'm right, there is a stone cutter at the bottom. Ah, there it is. Whew. Yeah, if I pull out this room as well, that is going to be another heavy hit to me. To be honest, I'm saying it's a heavy hit because this room is going to be more difficult than the previous room. The room that's overhanging with this amount of floor foundation structure support isn't going to be easy to put up at all. Let me just show you what I mean. It's already turned yellow. And this isn't even that far from the beginning. This is exactly where the reinforcement goes. So it may be a green floor, but the moment I put in the reinforcement, this wall will turn green. But it's not good enough. It's going to still have these off colorings, and it's not going to be 100% the best that it can be. It's going to take a lot of stone to pull up that room and fix up that room, and it's going to be work beyond what I'm expecting to put into the space. Just look at this side. It's so incomplete. It really feels bare. Once everything goes in, hopefully this will look a little bit prettier. I can't wait to put on the second quarter on the top. It'll be so much easier than all of this building and reinforcing the ground. As you can see, this thing has been cut quite deeply. I've cut out all the trees already. And I have been breeding wolves for the purpose of making sure that I don't end up in a situation where raid outperforms me, because I've died to raids. And they've come in and they've caused havoc and all of that stuff. And now I have, I think, 14 wolves running around the castle. So they're all over the place. They've already breached the perimeter that I set for them, basically. So they're all over the top, all over the sides. Just want to go to the bottom and show you what the bottom room is. So, as I said, the forge is on top, so this here would have to be something special as well. Not forge, the smelting room. So as you can see, I've already started to set it up. There's 2 workbenches and there's a space in between. Now I'm hoping that I can set up all my upgrades in this little space and that it will connect to both of them regardless. And then I'm going to do the same thing over here with the 2 forges. So 2 forges over here to give me the next type of crafting. On the other side, as you can see, I've already put down my artisan table. And I have enough for a second artisan table, so there will be a second artisan table used inside here, but there's going to be 2 spinning weaving devices, and hopefully that will be all that goes in. Now the base is quite excessive in the use of resources, as I've been saying so far. It's not even an understatement to say that this base is overdone. In terms of the reward of the aesthetic in the end, once everything is done, this base is going to look phenomenal. Honestly, with Havoc and Zupta and Phoenix and everybody around, I'm thinking that the decoration on it is going to be what says this is the castle to be at. Plus, the lighthouse is going to be looking at this place quite a bit. So I'm going to try and make that front as huge as possible. Big bonfire on the top isn't going to be enough to cut it, so I'm going to put multiple bonfires. I'm going to make that area on the top as magnificent as I possibly can. There's enough space to put a room inside there. If I wanted, there's more than enough for one room. So I'll do the same thing that I did with my King of Dragons base, likely. Put 4 slots for 4 people to stay on the top. Obviously, I made my castle for exactly 10 people, but I didn't count the number of rooms properly in my head. And when I finally figured out that I was short, I went ahead and I put Havoc with me upstairs. I was 1 short because I didn't count the loft on the roof to be just 1 room. I counted it as 2, and I had to do it in the end. I didn't give it to Lexi for one reason. Lexi is definitely a very good player of the game, but I didn't want to give Lexi the roof because he's Lexi. I like to trouble Lexi a bit, and mosquitoes attack you a lot on the roof, and if he keeps dying whenever he comes to my base, he's going to get a bit upset, and that's the worst thing possible because then Lexi won't come to the base anymore. That's how come I gave him one of the most secure rooms on the bottom floor. It's protected by the first run of outer walls, and that is a fantastic place to be sitting for anybody when it comes to the space. Now, the next part to this is going to be the crazy part on the ocean. Let me just open the map here for you. So right here where I am, as you can see, this is where the castle is situated. It comes from this shore all the way across, and it's going somewhere near here, up and down. So that is this castle over here. This is going to be my longboat bay. This is going to be my carved bay. Now, since I'm doing it in 2 bays, that means it's going to take even more stone. So I'm going to have to go in and put in structures all over the place so that each and every item can be deployed. I'm going to have to build access ships just to make it look that type of an installment. And when people decide to jump on and use it, it's going to be the easiest launch point ever. Now, I am responsible for clearing out most of the trees here, and I don't think it shows. But yeah, there shouldn't be any foliage showing over here. This should be basically brown now from what I have done. And right here is where Havoc's base is, his town. So yeah, that should also be changed in color. I don't know why the maps don't update. And somewhere around here should be the lighthouse. It's insane to think about how much of work goes into these places, how much of time you can devote to a game. but obviously I hope that the end result is something that people do enjoy. So I'll catch you all in the next one. Have a good day.